honorable judges, Madam Moderator, specially invited guests, the media, members of the audience here and abroad, and my most worthy opponents, a pleasant good afternoon. Today, my colleague and I stand in strong support of the topic, social media use is beneficial to the holistic development of high school students. Honorable judges, my arguments today are hinged on the fact that social media use, 1, allows high school students to make positive connections to the world around them, thus ensuring their social and intellectual development. 2, facilitates the building of platforms for raising awareness globally on social issues which contribute to their moral development and self-esteem. 3, allows us as high schoolers to grow spiritually in our Christian faith. 4, provides a wide range of business and financial opportunities for high schoolers, and as a result, contributes to their holistic development. Madam Moderator, before I delve into today's arguments, allow me to define a few key terms of this proposition. According to Merriam-Webster Dictionary, and I quote, social media are a set of applications and websites that provides users with a platform for creating and sharing information, ideas, interests, and other forms of expressions through virtual communities and networks. Beneficial means improving a situation or having a helpful or useful effect. End of quote. Helsinki International Schools define holistic development as the social, emotional, physical, mental, spiritual, and intellectual growth of a person. Cambridge Dictionary defines a high school student as someone who is attending a public or private secondary school. Honorable judges, without a doubt, the use of social media allows high school students to connect to the world around them, which greatly benefits their social and intellectual development as future leaders and professionals. Madam Moderator, the evidence is right here as we speak. Thanks to the use of social media such as Facebook, we as high school students at this very moment are dissecting ideas on critical issues on the global stage. Honorable judges, this enhances our public speaking and leadership skills and allows us to influence our society and the world by extension. Moreover, esteemed judges, this global presence via social media also creates avenues for collaboration, scholarship opportunities, job opportunities, among other benefits to our high schoolers. Further, Madam Moderator, we can all testify that the era of COVID-19, more than anything else, brought home the very critical importance of the use of social media in our students' holistic development. Worthy opponents, every single aspect of our life has benefited from social media use. For example, high schoolers were able to participate in functions such as graduation ceremonies, hospital visits, weddings, family meetings, shows, classes, church services, and even funerals through the use of social media. Further, Madam Moderator, experts in the field of epidemiology, such as Dr. Anthony Fauci, have put the world on notice that we should be prepared for future pandemics that will be worse than COVID-19. This means that it is of utmost importance that parents and teachers ensure that our students are versed in the use of social media to be able to excel in every aspect of their daily lives, given these eventualities. Additionally, in our consultation with Dr. Laura John Baptist, an e-learning senior consultant and university lecturer, she confirmed that social media use facilitates the building of platforms for raising awareness globally on social issues. This contributes to the moral development of students and their self-esteem. Worthy opponents, the use of social media allows high schoolers to get involved in community projects which benefit society and the world by extension. Madam Moderator, this ensures that high schoolers develop the capacity for exercising responsible community and global citizenship, both integral parts of their holistic development. One of the most poignant examples of this beneficial use of social media in the development of responsible global citizenship is the case of young Swedish environmental activist Greta Thunberg. In 2018, at only 50, she launched a student movement in Sweden for climate change, which galvanized global support and culminated in a global movement called Youth Strike for Climate Change. It was only through the unifying effect of social media that this campaign could have made it to a global audience. This movement has demanded action from political leaders to mitigate climate change and also demanded that the fossil fuel industries transition to renewable energy. Worthy opponents, this effective use of social media resulted in a 15-year-old being afforded the opportunity to address world leaders at the United Nations in 2019. It also resonated with every teenager that we, like Greta, could make a difference in the world. Esteemed judges, yet another powerful example is the case of young Malala Yousafzai, who through the use of social media was able to raise global awareness regarding the importance of securing education for young girls in Pakistan. In so doing, she was able to galvanize global support for girls in Pakistan. In 2014, Malala was awarded a Nobel Prize at the young age of 17. My dear opponents, I am sure you will agree that these are two powerful examples of the use of social media in facilitating the development of global leadership skills in high schoolers. Honorable judges, social media such as Facebook and YouTube are effective tools used by pastors, gospel artists, and evangelists to facilitate spiritual development in the Christian life of high schoolers. In our consultation with Pastor Oliver Wallace, Deputy Welfare Officer, he confirmed that almost every church in Dominica and around the world broadcasts live services using social media, which our students are well able to access. Also, social media use enables students to access gospel music and other Christian programs which enhance their spiritual growth. Worthy opponents, isn't Christian spiritual growth an important aspect of one's holistic development? It most definitely is. Honorable judges, social media allows high schoolers to produce, promote, and sell music videos, blogs, films, and other products. This fosters the development of entrepreneurial skills. Esteemed judges, I, as a high school student, am personally using platforms such as Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram to promote and sell jewelry and clothing items. This has enabled me to develop my skills as a young entrepreneur. Further, young artists such as the Smith Brothers of Dominica, Coffee of Jamaica, and countless other high schoolers around the world have been able to use social media in similar fashion, which enables them to earn income and become self-sufficient. Honorable judges, it is clear there is absolutely no doubt that the use of social media is very beneficial and essential in the holistic development of high school students. My colleague will further expound on the critical issues of this debate.
Famous CEO and billionaire Warren Buffett said, "The most dangerous distractions are the ones you love, but that don't love you back." Madam Moderator, honorable judges, generous sponsors, our gracious audience, and our capable opponents, a pleasant good afternoon to you all. A survey published in the New York Times shows that teens spend on average over 5 hours a day on social media. Unquestionably, high school students love social media, but does it love us back, or is it nothing but a dangerous distraction? The topic being debated today is social media use is beneficial to the holistic development of high school students. My teammates and I wholeheartedly disagree, and after we have presented a total of 6 irrefutable arguments, judges, we know you will too. Social media is defined by the Oxford Dictionary as websites and applications that enable users to create and share content or to participate in social networking. While social media is certainly popular, it is absurd to claim that it is actually beneficial to the holistic development of high school students. According to the Nurturing Early Learners website, an initiative developed by the Ministry of Education in Singapore, the term holistic development takes into account the whole child and emphasizes the importance of their physical, social, emotional, cognitive, moral, and creative abilities. For any activity to be beneficial to the holistic development of a student, it must contribute in whole or part to these 6 aspects of their well-being. My teammates and I will prove that not only does social media provide no advantage in these areas, it is actually detrimental. I will address how social media has in fact been damaging to 3 of the 6 aspects of holistic development. 1, the physical, 2, the social, and 3, the emotional. To get started, let's look at the physical impact of social media on high school students. Madam Moderator, as I previously stated, the average teen spends hours a day on social media. This is not simply due to an immature lack of self-control, as my opponents may argue. According to a research study published by the National Library of Medicine, during adolescent brain development, it is believed that the brain regions associated with processing emotions mature earlier than the prefrontal cortex region, the region associated with logic and decision making. Psychologist David Walsh writes, "It is as if a teenager's brain has a fully functional car accelerator, but the brakes have not yet been properly installed." Teens are therefore much more susceptible to highly addictive substances or activities. Is social media really that addictive? Another article published by the National Library of Medicine stated, and I quote, "Social media provides immediate rewards in the form of a dopamine release every time you post or get a notification from the app. This constant barrage of shallow rewards rewires your brain to want more of what causes that dopamine release, which leads to social media addiction." Honorable judges, social media actually physically modifies the neural pathways of a teenager's brain until it resembles that of a drug addict. How is that beneficial to their holistic development? Even the moderate user is at risk of experiencing this restructuring of the brain that may cause them to spend more and more time on the social media platforms. And the horrible effects do not stop there. A study done at the University of Buffalo showed that research participants who use social media excessively were found to have higher levels of C-reactive protein, also known as CRP, a biological marker of chronic inflammation that predicts serious illnesses such as diabetes, certain cancers, and even cardiovascular disease. In addition to elevated CRP levels, results suggest higher social media use was also related to somatic symptoms like headaches, chest pains, and back pains. Why? because the dopamine reward that comes from riding a bike, taking a walk, going for a swim, is now unsatisfactory in comparison to the one the user gains from scrolling the endless stream of meaningless videos and posts. This leaves very little motivation to engage in physical activity, which has a detrimental effect on their health. What a vicious and dangerous cycle. Secondly, let us examine the effects that social media use has had on the social development of high school students. In order to be well adjusted socially, a student needs to develop good communication skills. This includes being able to effectively initiate and maintain an intelligent conversation. These skills are key to achieving academic and professional success. But we learn these essential skills mainly through face-to-face interactions. Madam Moderator, reflect for a moment. How many times have we all experienced this sad scene? A group of teenagers gather together, but there is no conversing. Every last one of them is staring at the phone, scrolling through social media. Honorable judges, high school students have become uncomfortable with real conversations. Capable opponents, high school students should be prepared to face the real world, and yet, because of social media, they no longer have the necessary social skills to impress a potential employer or university recruiter. Clearly, it is destroying their holistic development, not benefiting it. Last, but most certainly not least, let us examine the emotional effects. A Mayo Clinic article cited a study of more than 450 teens, where it was discovered that greater social media use was linked with worse sleep quality and higher levels of anxiety and depression. Social media often promotes the idea that high school students must look a certain way and afford a certain lifestyle to be socially accepted. Admittedly, learning to cope with peer pressure is a necessary part of growing up. But there is a vast difference between peer pressure that stems from a close circle, such as your school or your community, and the one that comes from thousands and thousands of strangers online, in addition to your peers. This heavy emotional burden has caused many teenagers to suffer from emotional disorders, such as body dysmorphia, insecurity, and even several eating disorders. And in certain cases, this has even led to suicide. Capable opponents, the verdict is in, and social media has been judged guilty of having a detrimental effect on the physical, social, and emotional development of high school students. Therefore, it absolutely cannot be beneficial to their holistic development. Thank you.
Madam Moderator, my colleague has established protocol and I adhere to this. I rise now to offer support to her in proposition of the topic, social media use is beneficial to the holistic development of high school students. I will do this by exploring the following. 1. Social media use is an essential part of the successful functioning of secondary schools in Dominica and elsewhere. 2. The use of social media enables high school students to access medical information, thus enhancing their physical, mental, and emotional well-being. 3. Social media use enhances social-emotional learning in high school students. Honorable judges, our extensive research has confirmed that 100% of high schools in Dominica utilize social media to facilitate the educational development of students. In fact, honorable judges, one of the schools which makes excellent use of social media in the holistic development of high school students is the very school of our dear opponents, the Orion Academy. Honorable judges, it is highly exemplary and we are very supportive of this. Their opponents are indeed aware of the fact that their school makes extensive use of social media such as Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And how does this facilitate the holistic development of students? Esteemed judges, the school's Facebook platform and other social media were used to facilitate the GoFundMe effort, raising over $15,000 towards the school's rebuilding efforts, the promotion of the various clubs such as the Environmental Club, to create environmental awareness and foster development of leadership skills. Also, honorable judges, the cultivation of an excellent communication network between administrators, teachers, students, and parents as well as other stakeholders. This, of course, is very commendable, for it is all in an effort to facilitate the growth and holistic development of high school students. In fact, honorable judges, most secondary schools around the world use social media in a similar fashion. Our research also indicated that secondary schools use social media as an essential part of their communication system and in the delivery of academic programs. This enhances the intellectual development of students. Also, Madam Moderator, in consultation with a language lecturer of the Faculty of Education of the Dominica State College, it was confirmed that the Ministry of Education, which is the highest education policy-making body on island, has made it mandatory that all teachers are to be trained in the use of social media in the delivery of educational programs in Dominica. According to researcher Sarah Kessler, and I quote, the results of a social media pilot program in Portland revealed that the use of social media improved students' academic performance by 50%. Platforms such as YouTube are used in the sciences and other subject areas to enhance students' learning and to teach life skills. Facebook is used to do research for SBAs and other projects. The use of these social media facilitates the development of technical skills and cognitive abilities such as reasoning, problem solving, planning, and abstract thinking of students. Additionally, honorable judges, according to the American Journal of Public Health, social media use enables high schoolers and their parents to access medical information regarding disease prevention, physical fitness, nutrition, skincare, and sexuality, which is critical to their physical, emotional, and mental development. Further, social media platforms are effective in offering behavioral counseling, which helps students with emotional problems. According to Dr. Jackie Gerstein, education specialist, and I quote, social media allows students to accomplish many tasks that are important to them. Social media can offer adolescents deeper benefits that extend into their view of self, community, and the world, end of quote. She further suggests that social media helps students manage their emotions, resolve conflicts non-violently, and make responsible decisions. She added that social and emotional learning results in the reduction in violence among students. Honorable judges, this directly refutes the questionable arguments presented by my opponents. Dr. Justine states that social media levels the playing field for those with special needs. Furthermore, it allows students from third world countries to bridge the digital gap. Honorable judges, despite the arguments presented by my opponents, the evidence shows that teens report that their experience of social media is better than what others think. In a 2022 Pew Research Center survey of high schoolers around the United States revealed that 80% of the students, through the use of social media, felt connected with friends. 71% said it is a place where they can show their creativity. 67% said that social media reassures them that they have people to support them through tough times. And 58% said it makes them feel more accepted. Worthy opponents, this clearly shows that the use of social media enhances the mental and emotional well-being of high school students. Esteemed judges, we have provided overwhelming evidence which shows that the use of social media has tremendous benefits for the academic, social, emotional, intellectual, mental, and spiritual enhancement of high schoolers, which directly contributes to their holistic development.
Madam Moderator, honorable judges, generous sponsors, our gracious audience, and our worthy opponents, a pleasant good afternoon to you all. Our opponents propose that social media use is beneficial to the holistic development of high school students. However, my teammates and I firmly disagree. I am sure after listening to an eloquent delivery from my colleague, everyone here feels the same way. How could we not? After she explained that social media affects high school students physically by actually rewiring their brains to create addiction, socially by robbing them of the critical social skills they need to function in the school, and emotionally by promoting a long list of emotional disorders, leaving hundreds of high school students broken. Judges, the facts presented already provide sufficient proof. I will now discuss 3 of the factors, and then evidence will be overwhelming. We will now consider how social media is destructive to the holistic development of high school students as it relates to their cognitive, moral, and creative development. Merriam-Webster's dictionary defines the word cognitive as relating to, being, or involving conscious intellectual activities, such as thinking, reasoning, or remembering. Madam Moderator, high school is a time for students to sharpen and improve their cognitive ability, not dull them. And yet, this is exactly what social media does. An article from neurogrowth.com, which is a reputable neurological information and treatment portal, states, and I quote, "Heavy social media users perform worse on cognitive tests, especially those that examine their attention and ability to multitask. They need to exert more effort to remain focused in the face of distraction. Researchers hypothesize that since social media competes for your attention with the promise of perpetual new content, social media users become less able to ignore distraction in general. Not only does this lead to poorer cognitive performance, but it shrinks parts of the brain associated with maintaining attention. This ability of the brain to change is called neuroplasticity, and it has a big effect on your attention and cognitive function." End of quote. Most worthy opponents, social media is contributing to high school students having a diminished mental capacity. This research is not just statistics in a lab. Ask any teacher who has taught for a number of years at any high school, and they will confirm how true this is. Limited attention span, lack of ability to multitask, lack of focus. They lament that every year it gets worse. Honorable judges, the scientific evidence is clear. Social media has played a huge part in the gradual cognitive degeneration of students. Something that is good for one's holistic development must be beneficial for mental growth and improvement. But Madam Moderator, social media is a destroyer of minds. Secondly, social media has a negative effect on the moral development of high school students. Social media users experience lowered inhibitions, which makes it easier to be drawn to violent and degrading content. And such content exists on social media platforms in abundance. Worthy opponents, our peers are liking and sharing videos that feature the exploitation of vulnerable young women, the violent and bloody fights among schoolmates, and the disrespectful humiliation of the homeless and the disadvantaged. Judges, this is not a minority view. It is the opinion of many in our society. As we know, Calypso is social commentary. Popular 2023 Calypso finalist Shanice echoes the concerns of many in her song entitled #Concern. She sings, "Misconduct online is trending. Tell me, what's the message we sending? Is anything for comments and likes? Wrapping the children's minds, you know that can't be right. To create a generation with no love, no compassion, is to condemn ourselves to annihilation." These words echoed in the hearts of many because our society have been feeling the effects of the callous and disconnected demeanor that social media has been producing. Worthy opponents, clearly, social media is not even beneficial to the development of our society. So how can it be beneficial to the holistic development of high school students? Finally, let us discuss how social media has a negative impact on the creative development of high school students. Many people may believe that social media is an excellent avenue to develop creativity, but let me prove to you why it is not. In a study done by the University of Pennsylvania, it was discovered that people who use social media are less likely to come up with new ideas and more likely to conform to group norms. The study's author suggests that social media may make it harder for people to think outside the box. Don't get me wrong, a small percentage of the content available on social media does come from original ideas. However, Madam Moderator, we must admit that most of the dances, challenges, and even digital products are just clones of whatever is trending. Clearly, social media is slowly chipping away at our creativity. Madam Moderator, in review, we have proven that social media negatively affects the cognitive, moral, and creative development of teens. Therefore, it is abundantly obvious that it can never be beneficial to the holistic development of high school students. I thank you. Honorable judges, my opponent spoke about anxiety and depression, the lack of communication and social skills, and the negative effects on the morality of high schoolers in their futile attempts to prove that the use of social media is not beneficial. However, these arguments are null and void. Esteemed judges, according to the American Journal of Public Health, social media platforms are effective in offering behavioral counseling, which helps students with emotional problems. This clearly enhances their mental health. Madam Moderator, Dr. Gerstein, educational specialist, has established that social media use helps students manage their emotions, resolve conflicts non-violently, and make responsible decisions. Worthy opponents, all critical parts of holistic development, which renders your argument invalid. Honorable judges, our opponent's arguments do not take away from the fact that the use of social media contributes to the enhancement of technical skills, entrepreneurial skills, social skills, academic performance, intellectual and cognitive abilities. The use of social media helps us as students to grow spiritually in our Christian faith. It allows us to influence society, puts us on the global stage, creating avenues for meaningful collaborations, scholarship and job opportunities, all directly contributing to our holistic development as high schoolers. Worthy opponents, if social media use were not beneficial, as you suggested, would all secondary schools on island, including the Orion Academy, make such extensive use of social media? Definitely not. Honorable judges, the fact that the Ministry of Education, the Dominica State College, and all high schools in Dominica adopted the use of social media to facilitate facilitate education of students further proves that my opponent's arguments are null and void, and the use of social media is beneficial to the holistic development of high schoolers. Honorable judges, nothing my opponents have presented takes away from the reality that social media use is indeed beneficial to the holistic development of high school students. I therefore rest my case.
Good afternoon to all once again. Honorable judges, my worthy opponent stated that social media was beneficial to students in COVID times. But students in the audience, how many times have you caught yourself scrolling through social media when you should be attending class or doing work? They also stated it was beneficial to attend graduations, funerals, and church services, but all of this can be done through some other means, such as Meet. They also stated that it enhances their ability to speak publicly. But how is this so when students spend all their time at home scrolling on their phone and not speaking publicly? They are scrolling through social media. Honorable judges, how many times have you looked up your symptoms and it stated that you are going to die in a few days? Well, they stated that you can look up your symptoms, but it's all wrong. My capable opponents also stated that Facebook and YouTube are means of communication and are social media. My capable opponents, there are other digital methods of communication available. The very email client that we use so regularly, Gmail, actually has a live chat, and there are several other live chat platforms that do not possess the distracting elements of social media. Judges, my opponents have clearly been affected by the use of social media because it has narrowed their view on what other tools are available. As a matter of fact, I can confidently say that every single advantage that they listed, communication, socialization, research, expression of creativity, can all be achieved through some other means of more productive means on the internet without the harmful effects of social media. An abundance of research has proven how detrimental social media has been to the social, physical, emotional, cognitive, and moral development and creative development of high school students. Therefore, we stand firm in our conviction that it cannot be beneficial to their holistic development. Thank you.
Both sides were really good. So we focused more on what you could have done better. But the general really good point across both teams is that you all had a lot of research and that really put out strength to your arguments. Remember, you all are all clearly very intelligent, and intelligent people can always come up with good sounding things. So the strength of your argument is going to come from the research you do on both sides. Both of them were quoting different sources, different studies, and I was really strong. I think either side would have won very easily against a much easier, like an opponent that didn't do that much research. So it's good that both of you are there.
The total scores are out of 780 points. We have one team which scored 678 points, and one team scored 570 points. So we have the winning team with a score of 678 points, being the opposing team from the Orion Academy. Will be moving forward to the finals. The best speaker was judged to be the second speaker from the opposing team, which is the Orion. And that was Ms. Kyra Daniel. And I see here that we have the best rebuttal coming from
the opposing team as well, delivered by Miss Lena McLaw. So, congratulations. One. And the semifinals this afternoon, they will each receive a gift certificate from Body Bliss Spa. They will receive, while we are giving the winners a prize, and their prize, why I say first time, because we've been waiting for them to get the grand prize in the finals. But this afternoon, the winners are receiving a Fire tablet from Flo, and their Bluetooth headsets. And the best speaker, Miss Danielle, will receive a trophy for being judged as the best speaker. And the best rebuttal, Miss Maglaw will receive a prize from Lovely Things, and that is for the rebuttal, which was judged to be the best. So congratulations to the Orion Academy.